Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames and we're back with another banging video. So if you're new or if you're returning and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, give this video a big thumbs up. In this video guys, we're gonna talk about Miss Toni Braxton celebrating her first wedding anniversary with Mr. none other than Birdman. Now, in case you guys haven't seen Toni Braxton and Birdman story, I think one of the place where you can truly catch up to get a sense of how connected they are. If you can find any of those past Wendy clips, Wendy Williams, our Aunt Wendy, Wendy was like the person who revealed to the world that Birdman and Toni Braxton were actually a thing. And Wendy had Birdman on her show. She basically asked him a few questions, and when Birdman and Toni were not getting along because Birdman, had engaged to Toni saying that he wanted to have a baby with her, the family was like, she's too sick for that. And Birdman was like, but we can get a surrogate and she doesn't have to lift a finger, I just want this woman's genetics to be combined with mine. And they had a bit of delay on that. Well, honey, and that was years ago. That was maybe at this time, that was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So that gives you a sense of how long these two have been together. And they have overcome so much, and so much so that they're now celebrating their first wedding anniversary. Now, Miss Toni Braxton made a post on her Instagram page, and she has happy anniversary, and it has her hand with the ring and a flower. So she's celebrating her first anniversary with Birdman. As you guys can recall, they previously tied the knot on August 8th, 2024. And shortly after, Toni had filed for divorce, but then dismissed the divorce petition in January of 2025. You know what? I think that Toni and Birdman, I think they're gonna work. I think they may make it because they've been together maybe at this point for a decade, if not close to a decade. And just remembering from when Wendy would talk about these two, every time Toni is on tour, Birdman would always ensure that she's well taken care of. And he buys her the most expensive, luxurious pieces of jewelry known to mankind, and whatever vintage pieces she may love, he always ensures that she gets it. Also remembering Toni and Birdman basically sharing their story, not on the same page, but how, yes, the same Wendy Williams interview when Wendy said to Birdman that she understood that Birdman would take care of Toni when she's sick. He would always be by her side, taking care of all her needs, and he would never leave her side. And there was a time that also Toni went and toured. This was a couple years ago. Toni took ill because she has lupus, if I'm remembering correctly, but I remember it's an autoimmune disorder. And Birdman basically, the first time they basically connected was when Toni got sick on tour. Birdman was in the same area, I believe. Birdman visited her because he wanted to know if she was doing well, and they just connected from there because he followed up. He wanted to know how well she was doing. He would send her flowers. He would send her gifts, and he would just want to take care of everything for her. And she basically drew a liking to him because he was, Toni said that he's nothing that is physical appears to be. The tattoos, the tough gangster guy. Toni basically said that that is like a facade for Birdman. The gangster thing behind that, there's a old another human being that is very much charming, caring, very kind to her, very loving. And when she's, when all of that is taken into consideration, you can definitely see how Toni got involved with Birdman. Many people have questioned it, and it's natural because we see Toni as the soft type of girl who would go for someone that's soft and polished. Birdman looks a bit rough around the edges, but Toni's saying, no, he's not rough as he's looking. That's just a facade. Don't pay any attention to that. He's well polished behind that mask. So based on that, I believe you can really tell that they will have some kind of connection. But these two, they've been together for maybe a decade now at this point, but they've been together for quite some time. And I'm talking about more than 5 years. I can consciously say, I know for a fact it's more than 5 years, but I'm not sure if it is 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, or 10 years. But I do believe that it's either close to a decade, if not more than a decade, that they have been together. But anywho, guys, this is all I have to share in this video with you all. Miss Toni Braxton and Birdman celebrating their first wedding anniversary. Let me know what's your take, because there have been so many rumors about these two, but I like to stick to the simpler stuff sometimes. And this is pretty simple. They got married. She initially filed for divorce, changed her mind, still married, and now celebrating their first anniversary. So leave your comment below. Do all you need to do on this video to support your girl. Peace.